Good afternoon. It's time for our daily devotion. I have a question for you today. Do you respond to things or do you react to things? Do you respond or do you react? The famous motivational speaker Zig Ziglar used to tell a story about a man who got sick and he went to the doctor. And the doctor examined him and diagnosed him, and he said, I'm going to write you a prescription. I want you to go have it filled, and I want you to take it as directed for the next 3 days, and then I want you to come back and see me again. So the man did as he was instructed. He filled the prescription. He took it home. He took it exactly the way he was supposed to, and after 3 days, he came back to the doctor. Now, one of two things could happen when he revisits the doctor. One, the doctor could look at the man and examine him again and say, oh my, you're having a reaction to the medication. Or he could look at him and examine him and say, oh, I think you're responding to the medication. Now, responding to the medication is a good thing. That means that the medication is doing what it's supposed to do and the man's getting better. Reacting might mean that he's broken out in a rash or in hives, or he's having some other adverse reaction to the medication, in which case the doctor's probably going to want to stop that medication and try a different treatment. So again, the question, do you respond or do you react? Unfortunately, what I see in our world today, and especially among Christians, is that when things happen in our world, in our society, in our culture, lots of times we react to those things rather than responding to those things. And when we react, many times what it brings about is another negative reaction. You know, the old principle which says for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. And when we react to things, unfortunately, people react back against us, and then we react back, and then they react back, and before long it escalates, and we've got a full-blown argument or disagreement going on, or people yelling and screaming at each other, even if it's on Facebook, and we have all this disunity that happens because instead of responding to things, we react to things. I believe that as Christians, as followers of Jesus, what we ought to be doing is thinking about this principle. If Jesus were to encounter this particular set of situations, if he were to have this happen in his day, in his culture, in his society, how would Jesus respond to those things? How would he respond to those people? How would he respond to that situation? How would he respond to that sickness or to that sin? How would he respond? One of the things that you see about the life of Jesus and the ministry of Jesus and the example that he set for us is it's very difficult to find a time when Jesus reacted, but he did respond. The closest thing to reaction you might see is his response to the money changers in the temple. But if you examine that carefully, you see that even that was a measured response that Jesus had. Now, response doesn't mean that we can't be dissatisfied with what we're responding to. It doesn't mean that we have to like or love everything that we're responding to. But it does mean that even though we may not like or approve of what's happening around us, that we respond in love. Because when you respond in love, the response will be a response that shows respect. It'll be a response that keeps anger away and keeps voices down. And it's just a much better way to deal with things. So please, as a follower of Jesus, please let your responses be measured. Let your responses be colored by the influence of Jesus in your life. And with the help of the Holy Spirit and the strength that he can provide, do your very best not to react to things that happen around you, to react to things in this world. Believe me, one of the problems that people have with Jesus followers is they've seen us react far more times than they've seen us respond. And we need to be the example. We need to be the voice of calm and peace and tranquility and reason in this world, because we have a reason for hope when so many others don't. So I want you to really, really think about, first of all, and then work on, become a person who responds rather than reacts. And as you face the things that you do today, make it a great day. I'll see you next time.